All right, welcome back, everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I am back, and it is time for another Starcraft 2 1 vs 1 replay cast. We have got two very exciting players to watch. In the bottom left, we have got playing for Team LP. It is Patience. Patience. He is the wild Protoss. He is the cowboy Protoss. He plays his own style. He will go when no one else would possibly go for an attack. He will make more units than anyone would possibly see fit. And he will do it all while making consistent tournament runs. So I'm excited to see how Patience is going to play against someone such as Time. Time, the Chinese Terran player who really had a big showing in 2019, I think it was, for the most part. 2018, 2019. He had a lot of up and up. He had a lot of hype behind him. However, I think that hype has fallen off a little bit. Everyone thought, okay, this guy could go places. They compared him to players like Maru with his speed and everything. But then he hasn't really posted super significant results in anything recently. Of course, there is the barrier between the Chinese region. But he has played in a few cups, and his results haven't been anything amazing, really. So we'll see exactly how Time is going to do playing against someone like Patience. At the minute, I'd say Patience is indeed the favorite. But of course, Time definitely could upset and show as a good match. Now, there is indeed a Cyber Core on the way for Patience, then just his Nexus. So went for the Nexus, then the Cyber Core. Really minimal things as... Oh, Patience. Oh, Patience. Patience doesn't have any patience, guys. He's proxying the heck out of Time. Gonna be throwing down his second pylon out on the map. Gonna be trying to cheese Time out a little bit. I'm guessing it's gonna be a Stargate, if I had to imagine. Could always be a Robo or something like that, as we see a Chrono Boost getting dumped on that Adept. Time came in with his SCV, but oh, he never actually completed the Scout. So not getting the tip-off that he needed basically just confirmed where the gateway was. Didn't necessarily confirm that there wasn't a second pylon when he reasonably could have. Instead, he's going to rely on the Reaper to do that, but there's a chance that the Reaper will deny Time from seeing this part of the base, and thus, Time, when he had the opportunity to scout for such a proxy, he did not, and he is in the dark as far as defending against this proxy Stargate goes. Factory on the way. Barracks is on the way for Time. Let's take a look. There's indeed an Adept going to be moving out on the map. Just trying to deny the Reaper, shading out, but then just really staying on top of the Reaper to basically deny that Scout as long as possible. The couple of Adepts are going to start moving across the map. One does stay back, though, to deny this Reaper Scout. Patience has done a phenomenal job doing this so far. The Oracle is on the way, too. Time doesn't really have anything that's going to completely shut down an Oracle just yet, but he is building a Cyclone, which is very important when it comes to defending these pushes. If his Cyclone gets a lock onto the Oracle, if his Marines take care of the Adepts and are in the right position, there's a chance that this attack from Patience isn't really going to get anything done. As far as we're concerned, Time is still in the dark a little bit, but oh, Patience lets that Adept shade in when it probably shouldn't have, so the Adept is going to try and run away. SCV is going for the Citizen's Arrest. The Oracle, though, does fly towards the Natural, kills off 3 units. I'm pretty sure those were all workers, yes. So 4 SCVs died so far. There's another Oracle popping out for Patience, so the damage isn't done yet. There's also a Phoenix being made. This could be Patience going for his little bit of specialty aggression that he goes for. Other Protoss might be like, okay, I got a bit of damage done, I'm gonna macro up. Whereas Patience, I think he's making this Phoenix so he can go in and lift up a potential Cyclone, and then the Oracles can still get damage done. If he goes for a move like this, he could get tremendous damage done to his opponent. We see a Sentry is on the way for Patience. He's probably planning on getting up a 3rd base behind this aggression too. There is still potential for him to get good damage done, though, if he does fly in with these units. We'll see if that's going to be the case or not. Behind this, of course, Time is making a Medivac. He's getting up a Stim, making even a 2nd or 3rd Cyclone because he knows the threat of air units, so it's good to see him making so many of those Cyclones. And he's probably planning on going for a push against Patience, if we're realistic about it. The reasons for that is Time has been doing a 2-1-1. So he's not macroing up. He's made a ton of Marines, and he's about to have them be very powerful with his stim pack, whereas Patience has gone for a third base. He doesn't have a ton of units to his name, and thus Time is going to be able to push across the map into this Protoss, who's been making mainly Stargate units, which they're great at defending harassment. They are not great at defending bulky Terran attacks. This is why we're seeing Patience. He's throwing up multiple stasis wards. This is going to prevent Time from stimming on top of him, which is something he drastically needs. He's also got the Sentry. He can toss down some force fields. Looks like he grabs a Cyclone. Time scans ahead, baits out one of the stasis wards. There is another. Time's going to have to deal with that. Looks like he does that. And now all of a sudden, Time knows that the floodgates are open. He's going to go for the attack. The Oracles are putting out as much damage as they can. Phoenix lifting up some of the Cyclones. Patience doesn't want to leave the range of his shield batteries. He's warping in more gateway units. He knows that these bio pushes run out of energy or run out of steam as the Marines overstim, and they have stimmed quite a bit. Their numbers have been thinned out. This looks like it could be a complete cleanup for Patience. He even kept his Oracles alive in the midst of this. He's going to get the Cyclone, and he's going to push Time all the way back to a 3 racks play with no expo. The Protoss has held the aggression. He's throwing up a Robo, a Forge, a Twilight Council. This is looking really good for Patience. Time is stimming back home. I mean, he's trying to zone out the Phoenix, which want that injured Medivac so badly. Time is aware of that, though. Boosts the Medivac away, may even repair it up. That remains to be seen. We even see Revelation get dropped down. The Medivac healing everything that it can, but this is not a great spot for Time. The Oracles and Phoenix are going to come in. They're going to shut down the third base that was building. Time's probably going to have to cancel that. I don't see how he's going to be able to save it. There's too many units for the Protoss out on the map right now. Is Time going to take a fight? Looks like he will, and so will Patience. So he does actually save the third base. I thought he wouldn't be able to, but his production did catch up. It's going to be a fight. Patience, though, probably shouldn't have taken this fight. I mean, he's trading out okay, but he has lost a lot of units. He's got more units coming on in. He doesn't have Blink on the Stalkers yet, though. He has no Twilight Council upgrades going. Widowmine hits the Phoenix, so Patience really wanted to push as hard as he could, warping in at this pylon. And he is going to trade out against most of these units. He's going to be able to clean up some of the mines. Time has been able to keep his third base building, though. He traded out pretty cost efficiently, I think, against the army of Patience. Like, that was like 7 Stalkers, 5 Phoenix, and 2 Oracles that died. Not bad at all. So the Protoss army really has been reset. Patience behind this. It's not like he started his Blink immediately. There was a little bit of delay to it. Second Forge is on the way as well. Then we see Blink is on the way too. Yeah, then the 4th base is on the way for Patience, so. I mean, it's not like Patience is in a bad spot, but Time is definitely bringing this game back a little. He's going to clean up the Stargate, clean up the pylon, and I feel the position Patience would have been in this game if he hadn't taken that fight at this third base would have been astronomically better. Now he's going to be feeling a little bit exposed. He doesn't have the Phoenix, he doesn't have the Oracles, doesn't have those Stalkers that he made to defend against pressure from Time, whereas if he did, he would have had all that and a 4th base still. The Terran would have been behind a lot of workers. The army supply probably would have been even. And so Patience's pretty good position right now would have been a fantastic one. We see a mine drop is being planned for Time. Going to try and get a lot of damage done to his opponent. There's a 2nd cannon building at this base, though, for Patience. There's Stalkers in position. So he is switching gears well to the defensive gear. He knows there's an attack going to be coming towards his 4th base. He's got a ton of sentries, though. He can just lock this ramp down hard. A Robo Bay is even on the way for Patience. He's now getting charge, +1 armor on the way as well, with his +1 attack, so he'll actually be equal on upgrades with the Terran, if not slightly ahead. Ghost Academy is going to be starting for Time, so he's going to be looking for that massive AoE damage to deal to the Protoss units. Probably a good choice against a Protoss like Patience, who does rely mainly on gateway units, but it's still going to be very pressing for Time to get something done to come back in this game. I know right now he's up on supply, but that's army supply, and he's not doing a lot with it. Patience is going to be reaping the rewards of his 4th base. He's going to be getting up an extra Robo, going to be able to start making, oh gee, pretty much everything under the sun that he wants. Warps in just 8 more Stalkers casually. He's chrono boosting out upgrades and things. Or should be chrono boosting out upgrades. He's been chrono boosting out lots of things, like his charge as well. building lots of Immortals, even going for Disruptors, interestingly enough. Getting out Disruptors as opposed to Colossus is something that surprises me. Oh, Widowmine gets picked off. Looks like there's an observer over there that spotted those. Has this drop been seen too? Looks like this drop has been seen by Patience, so he knows about Time's Medivac. That's why he is not going to touch these Stalkers. Time's waiting for the right moment, but Patience is making sure he's not going to sleep on that. He's out on the map now with his Patience amount of Blink Stalkers. 22 Blink Stalkers, no charge lots. That's the difference between Patience and other Protoss. Other Protoss probably would be going mainly on the charge lots with enough Stalkers to deal with the air units. Patience says, I need lots of Stalkers. I'm going to micro these as much as I can because I'm very good at microing these units. The Disruptor, though, being there for Patience is incredibly threatening to Time because if Patience had been going for High Templar, Time would have been able to simply just EMP them. Disruptors don't give a hoot about an EMP, though, so Time probably is going to have to just reassess, wait for a really good moment to fight. That could be Patience securing up his 5th base. We'll see if that opens a window for Time. However, ladies and gentlemen, as this game is starting to eclipse 100 army supply for either player, let us try and hit 100 likes on this video. It's an ambitious goal, but let's see if we can do it. Time comes in, Disruptors get tossed out. The players are taking an engagement right now. This wasn't all a Time's army. Patience, I mean, he was fighting pretty poorly into that Terran bio, but he does still just have so much. He shuts down the Widowmine drop, gonna just completely take that out, and is now gonna push across the map. So this is looking quite rough for Time. I mean, he's gotten an okay army supply, but he's gotta bring everything back home if he's gonna stand against Patience. Patience using the Disruptors to zone out. I mean, Time did a pretty good fight there, but Patience is still in a very good spot due to his economy. The Protoss or the Terran player is going to be taking his 4th base, which is good to see at least for Time. However, Patience is really looking to put the pressure on. He's got 2 Colossus wandering forward. Extended Thermal Lance is going to be finishing up as well, which will help them zone out this army. Time is coming forward, got out great EMPs, and actually sniped down that Disruptor, but his bio is just melting against what the Protoss player has. Looks like the 4th base may get up for Time, though, which is quite a big deal. However, at the same time, Patience, he's warping in DTs. He knows how stressed the Terran is right now. He's just getting up a casual 6th base because why not? Went ahead, get more ahead. The army for Patience isn't that hot right now, but he's still really looking to keep the pressure on Time. The more pressure on your opponent, the less defending you have to do. We see there's going to be these DTs running in, one probably towards the 3rd base, and because Time was a little bit behind this game, he has skimped on missile turrets. He did actually spot that DT, though, which is a huge, huge reveal there. Time realizing that was coming his way. He did have a turret at his natural, so he just has to stim some units to get them into position. Patience blinks forward on top of Ghosts, on top of Liberators, and tons of Marauders, which was a crazily aggressive attack. But as we see, the DT still getting damage done at the 3rd, the 4th, or at the natural. The 3rd and the 4th did stay secure, though, so Time holds on against that. He's making Vikings, making Ghosts still, and as far as late game TvP goes, Terran doesn't need to be as concerned anymore, but Patience is really running away with this game just due to his economy. He can make some pretty big blunders and still remax quite easily. He's on 84 probes. He is looking to attack into Time now, which is a little bit risky. As we see, there's not a lot to buffer for Patience. He's going to be kiting with his Colossus. Time's bio comes in. Stalkers do come in to reinforce this, though, but look at that. Vikings shooting the Colossus away. There's so many Marauders here that they actually are tanking the Colossus damage. One of them was misrallied for Patience. The Viking and Liberator actually combo down one of the remaining Colossus. This could be Time's moment. Patience overextended quite a bit. He's retreating to his Disruptors, though. Novas get tossed out. One zones Time away. Instantly ends the aggression from Time. Looks like there's a counterattack from Patience hitting the 3rd base of Time. Even the Prism's still in the main base, causing Time a lot of grief. But Time is really committed to this attack. He's going to try and make the victory happen, but another big Zealot warp-in goes down for the Protoss player to really buffer. I mean, that's most of the Zealots we've seen this game. So Time, he held on to counter-aggression, but he wasn't able to kill Patience. He wasn't able to fully capitalize on that attack, simply just due to Patience having a safety net of such an economy, such production, to allow him to push Time away. That Disruptor really did help him out. The Prism, still in the top right corner. Then we see Time really just relying on his Ghosts. I mean, I wouldn't put it past Time to send the Vikings back to just snipe off that prison, but at the same time, he really wants to put the pressure on his opponent, who doesn't have that strong of an army at the minute. Patience's army was reset. He lost most of his Colossus. He doesn't have a single Disruptor at the minute. So this could be potential for Time to attack, but of course he couldn't do that without his Vikings. Looks like the Prism did get taken down anyway, which is quite a big deal. Patience this game is on 92 probes, which is insane. So insane for the Protoss player. We'll see if he keeps building any more, but at this point, Patience is almost maxed out, whereas Time has room to grow his army. So there is a chance which Time will be able to build up his army so big that he'll just roll over Patience's and then be able to keep going, simply due to the fact that Patience has too many probes here. So this could be quite interesting. We do see Time. He is looking to take a fight now, though, at even army supply. But look at this. This looks like a great fight for Time. EMPs hit the Protoss force. The Vikings doing what they can, but they're not quite killing the Colossus. Time does get repelled. The Vikings, I mean, they weren't quite targeted down on the Colossus. We see Time is falling back to the rest of his army, and his army was reset. This is going to put him in a very rough spot. Patience is probably going to go for the kill. Patience hasn't dropped in supply at all due to his insane economy. He's remaxed. He's got just a bajillion charge lots coming forward. Time's going to try and micro this. I saw potential for Time to maybe make victory out of this game, but once again, Patience is pressuring the Terran player. The supply is really starting to drop to just lows that are too low for Patience, and I think we're going to be seeing a Patience victory. There we have it. Time put up one heck of a fight, I think, that match, but in the end, Patience, with his 92 probes, his good economy, was able to see the game through, as all Protoss players want to do. It did look a little bit scary for Patience, though, for a time. He kind of patienced it a little bit. I hate to use his name as a verb, but he patienced it a little bit, as going for that attack, getting surrounded, losing his army, had to fall back to just 1 or 2 Disruptors to zone the Terran out. And then even with the 92 probes, imagine if Time waits a little bit. Imagine right now if Time waits a little bit before taking this fight. If he just waited a little bit more time. There we go, I said it. Right now, Time is equal on army supply with Patience. Patience only has 10 more supply he could possibly make his units, whereas Time has got another 35 supply he could make his units. So imagine if Time had more before this fight, he could have potentially just taken a much better fight as opposed to fighting with even army supply. He could have fought with, say, 30, 25, 30 more supply than Patience. And sometimes StarCraft 2 is about realizing when you do need to sit back. And I think Terrans can rely more and more lately on the EMP, on the Liberators, on the Vikings, as far as dealing with Protoss players, particularly Patience, who isn't a late-game Protoss player. So if Time did wait a little bit, I think he potentially could have won that game, and definitely wasn't dead at this situation, but after taking the fight, he did just lose it. So, ladies and gentlemen, hit that like button. As I said before, 100 likes goes a long way to showing your support for the channel. Join the Discord if you haven't. Subscribe as well to the channel if you haven't. Subscribing is free. You can get notified whenever I put up a new video. Follow me on Twitter. Consider becoming a member if you do want to support the channel financially. It goes towards, I don't know, I just bought a new desk, new monitor mounts to try and be more healthy as far as sitting and doing StarCraft goes, things like that. But yeah, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.